Hello, my name is Danny Acosta, and I'm a senior planner in the City of Grand Junction Community Development Department. Today's presentation is to provide the community and other stakeholders information on the upcoming Shared Micromobility pilot study. Shared micromobility is the shared use of bicycle, scooter, and other low-speed modes. Fleets are deployed and operated by private companies, enabling users to have short-term access to an active or low-speed motorized transportation mode on an as-needed basis. Because of the increased interest received from e-scooter companies looking to deploy in the City of Grand Junction, the City is taking a proactive approach through a pilot study to help establish parameters for operations. Furthermore, micromobility may expand transportation choice for short-range trips and provide new revenue generation for the community. A pilot allows for a preliminary feasibility study before committing to a permanent licensing program. In terms of the structure, the City will solicit up to 3 companies through an RFP process for a 1-year period of performance. Companies will propose where they want to deploy and will be required to provide dedicated parking, both of which will be further refined by City staff. The pilot study will include quarterly performance assessments using data collected and shared by the companies. Community development is currently in the process of conducting listening sessions to collect public input. A draft ordinance for the regulations governing these devices is tentatively scheduled to go to City Council for approval on July 20th. If the ordinance is approved and adopted, community development will post the RFP in early August. Proposal evaluations, company interviews, and equipment demonstrations are tentatively scheduled for late August, early September, with a possible pilot study launch in early October. The City is prioritizing a safety-first approach to ensure safe interaction among all users and modes through the strategies you see on the slide. These include establishing dismount zones and no-ride zones, speed zones and speed limits, requiring special features on the vehicle to enhance safety, performance and monitoring that ties safe behavior and operations like helmet distribution to incentives, a rider safety and education plan, and vehicle deployment curfews. Additionally, companies are required to provide dedicated parking zones to ensure there is no obstruction of our roads, sidewalks, trails, and curb cuts. Parking may not happen outside these parking zones. Enforcement will occur through geofencing technology and company-led customer education. Other enforcement strategies include a parking photo feature requirement and user penalty fees. Devices will be allowed to operate in designated bike lanes, on sidewalks and trails, or vehicle travel lanes. The City will not permit device riding on sidewalks on Main Street and Colorado Avenue between 1st and 7th Street, or along 7th Street between Grand Avenue and Colorado Avenue. The City is also considering alternatives for the dismount and no-ride zones. For more information on these alternatives, please visit the GJ Speaks Micromobility project page. As part of the ordinance, staff is also recommending a 10-mile-per-hour speed limit on roads and bike lanes for devices within the greater downtown district, a 15-mile-per-hour speed limit for devices on roads and bike lanes outside the downtown, and a 6-mile-per-hour speed limit for riding on sidewalks outside the downtown dismount zone. Public input will be ongoing throughout the pilot. The slide here includes several ways to stay abreast of the developments and opportunities to get involved, including a dedicated email address for the pilot study. Thank you for listening, and this concludes my presentation.